Dogs. Dogs don't understand us only because of training. They understand us because they can sense things we can't even notice ourselves. A dog's sense of smell is up to 100,000 times stronger than a human's, which allows them to detect tiny chemical changes in our body. Have you ever looked at your dog and thought, how do you just know? How do they know you're sad, even when you're trying to hide it? How do they know you're about to leave the house, even before you've picked up your keys? It feels like magic, like they have a sixth sense. And while we often chalk it up to good training, the truth is so much deeper and more fascinating than that. Dogs don't just understand us because we've taught them sit and stay. They understand us on a level we can barely comprehend, because they can sense things about us that we don't even notice ourselves. Let's start with the most obvious one: their incredible sense of smell. We all know dogs have powerful noses, but it's hard to grasp just how powerful they are. Mad. Being able to smell a single drop of sugar in 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools. That's the kind of power we're talking about. So, what does this have to do with understanding us? Well, our emotions, our health, even our intentions, all have a scent. When you feel stressed, your body releases hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. You can't smell them, but your dog can. To them, your anxiety has a distinct odor. That's why your dog might come and rest their head on your lap when you're feeling overwhelmed. They're not just being cute, they're responding to a chemical signal you're sending out. They can literally smell your stress. This incredible olfactory ability is also how some dogs can be trained to detect medical conditions. There are diabetic alert dogs that can smell the subtle changes in a person's breath or sweat when their blood sugar is too high or too low. They can alert their owner long before a glucose monitor shows a problem. Similarly, some dogs can be trained to detect certain types of cancer. Cancer cells produce unique volatile organic compounds that dogs can pick up on. It sounds like science fiction, but it's real. They are smelling disease. So, when your dog is sniffing you more than usual or seems overly concerned with a particular spot on your body, it might be more than just curiosity. They might be picking up on something you're completely unaware of. But it's not just about smell. Dogs are also masters of observation. They are experts in reading our body language. Think about it. For thousands of years, their survival has depended on understanding the dominant species in their environment. Us, they've become finely tuned to our every move. A slight tensing of your shoulders, a subtle shift in your posture, the direction of your gaze. These are all billboard-sized signs to a dog. You might not even realize you're doing it. But when you're getting ready to leave, your whole routine changes. Maybe you start moving with more purpose, or you unconsciously glance at the door more often. Your dog sees this. They've catalogued these patterns. They know that this specific sequence of subtle movements means you're about to go out. And they'll either get excited for a walk or look sad about being left behind. They're also brilliant at reading our faces. Studies have shown that dogs process human facial expressions in a part of their brains similar to the one we use. They can distinguish between a happy face and an angry face. When you smile, they see the upturned corners of your mouth and the crinkling around your eyes. And they associate it with positive experiences like treats and praise. When you frown, they see the furrowed brow and tightened jaw, and they know something isn't right. It's a language we speak without words, and they are fluent speakers. This is why they can seem so empathetic. When you're crying, they see the tears, they hear the change in your voice, they smell the hormonal shifts, and they read the distress in your facial expression. They're piecing together a complete emotional picture from multiple sensory inputs. And let's not forget their hearing. A dog's hearing is far more sensitive than ours, especially at higher frequencies. They can hear the faint jingle of your car keys from another room, or the specific sound of your car's engine pulling into the driveway from down the street. It's not just about volume. It's about discrimination. They can pick your unique footsteps out of a crowd of sounds. This is another piece of the puzzle. They hear you coming home before you even open the door. They hear the subtle change in your breathing when you're re-anxious or the specific tone of voice you use when you're re-happy versus when you're re-annoyed. We think we're being subtle, but to a dog, we're an open book, broadcasting our feelings through every sound we make.
Okay.
So, when you combine this super smell, expert body language, reading, and sensitive hearing, you get an animal that is deeply connected to our inner world. It's a symphony of senses, working in concert. Let's paint a picture. Imagine you've had a terrible day at work. You walk in the door, trying to put on a brave face. You say, "Hey boy," in a cheerful voice, but it's a little strained. Your dog doesn't just hear the words. They hear the slight waver in your tone. They see that your smile doesn't quite reach your eyes and that your shoulders are slumped forward, even just a little. And most powerfully, they can smell the cortisol that's been pumping through your system all day. For them, the evidence is overwhelming. They know you're not okay. So they'll bypass the cheerful act and respond to the truth they're sensing. Offering a comforting nudge or a quiet presence by your side. This is something that goes beyond simple conditioning. Yes, we train our dogs, too. They learn that the sound of a can opener means food, and the word walk means an adventure. That's associative learning, and it's important. But it doesn't explain the deep, intuitive understanding they seem to have. It doesn't explain how a dog who has never been trained to detect sadness can comfort a grieving owner. That comes from this innate ability to perceive our world in a way we can't. They are living in a sensory reality that is far richer and more detailed than ours. While we're caught up in our thoughts and words, they are experiencing the raw, unfiltered data of our existence, our smells, our movements, our sounds. This connection is a two-way street, of course. We also learn to read our dogs. We know the difference between a bark that means someone is at the door and a bark that means I need to go out. We recognize the happy tail wag versus the anxious one, but our abilities pale in comparison to theirs. We are interpreting their behavior, whereas they are directly sensing our biology and psychology. It's a profound difference. The next time your dog seems to know exactly what you're thinking or feeling, take a moment to appreciate what's really happening. It's not just that they love you, although they certainly do. It's that they see you, hear you, and smell you with a clarity that is almost unimaginable. They are decoding the secret signals your body sends out without your permission. They are reading the hidden text of your emotions. So yes, training is vital for a happy life together. But that incredible bond, that feeling that they just get you, that's not something you can teach. That's the beautiful, mysterious, and/or inspiring result of a dog's extraordinary senses. They don't just live with us. They are intrinsically tuned in to the very core of who we are. And that's a connection that is truly special. Thank you so much for watching. You loved learning about the amazing abilities of our canine friends. Be sure to like this video and subscribe for more. We'll see you next time.